What it do, Domino's crew? Hey man, listen, I recently got a job at Domino's, and I've been asked by one of my $5 a month patrons to rant about interesting customer interactions I've had. So I actually had one on my last shift where I was answering the phone for one of the first times, and they asked to use a coupon I wasn't familiar with, and so I was like, here, 1 second, I haven't put the this coupon in yet before. Let me ask my manager to make sure I'm doing it right so I can get you the discount, right? And the old guy on the phone was like, oh, okay, no problem. And then, I called my manager over. Everything went smoothly. We applied the discount. I know how to do it now perfectly, and I won't need to ask him again. But I get back on the phone after unmuting it, and I'm like, all right, sir, thank you so much for your patience. That should be applied now. Would you like to pay here or over the phone? And he was like, yeah, I'll pay when I get there. And, yeah, glad I could be the one to pop your cherry. I just, gave him, a pity, fake laugh and hung up. That was so awkward. Oh, my God. Ugh. But I have a better story as well from about a week ago. Basically, I was on a big-ass 4-pizza run, and the first pizza I gave out was one of those apartment complexes, which are the bane of my existence, where there are a bunch of numbers, and I was just making sure I went to the right one. I was at 1108, or so I thought. It said 1108 on the receipt, and I go to 1106, 1107, and then, 1108. The door was open, the guy was already looking for his pizza, and he was expecting it. It was this old dude with a lazy eye. Very important detail. I give him the pizza. He's like, oh, thanks. I'm like, yeah, just the one pepperoni pizza, right? And he's like, yep. And then we just look at each other for way too long. And I'm like, yeah, it's not paid for yet. And he was like, oh, it's not? Oh. And he goes, well, in that case then. And then he just hands it back to me. I'm like, oh, you don't have any cash or any way to pay? And he's like, yeah, no, I do not. And I was like, okay. I guess I'll have to take this back then. Sorry about that. And then I went on with my day. Went on with my next delivery. I get a call from my boss who's like, hey, what happened to that last order? And I'm like, oh yeah, it was really weird. The guy answered the door. It was not paid. And then he just said, yeah, whatever. I won't have it then. And then he's like, well, the guy called and he says that he has the money and you never showed up. And I'm like, oh, okay, wait, man, where? Because that doesn't make any sense. I was just there. I said just the one pizza. He said yes, and I was sure that was the guy. And he's like, no, this guy's like a regular and he always pays, so that would be really weird. He's like, was it an old blind dude? And I was like, as a matter of fact, it was an old blind dude at apartment 1107. And he was like, yeah, old blind dude at apartment 1107. That totally checks out. That totally makes sense. This is really weird. Well, can you go back? He says he has the money. And I was like, oh, this is just weird. Okay. And so I went back and I assumed that I had gone to 11. So the way it works is there's the building number, which is 1 through 31 or whatever for the buildings. There's 31 buildings. And then there's the floor number, either 1 or 2. And then there's the suite number, which is 1 through 8. So the suite number is never above a single digit, by the way. But you have the building number, and then the floor number, and then a 0, and then the suite number. It's always a 0 on that second to last number. I assumed that the building I was going to was 11108, and I accidentally went to either 11208 or 11107 or 11207 or just the building next door because I assumed because I saw the door was open, I erroneously clocked him as searching for his pizza that he saw on the app had arrived. But, in reality, I just slipped up and went to one door to the side. I thought that's what had happened. So I went back there and I knock on the door. Same old blind dude. And I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. And amidst my stupor, I managed to get a couple of words out. I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry that this happened. I'm very, very sorry about that." And he's like, "Oh, it's okay." And I'm like, "So you have money?" And he's like, "Yep, here you go." This guy pays for the fucking pizza. He pays for the pizza. Totally normal. He pays for it. And then I give him the pizza. And then I'm on my way back. And it's like, oh, let's just chill. I get back. Old guy's calling the store saying, I've never been there. He's like, you haven't been here. I have the money. I want to pay for the pizza. Give me the fucking pizza. And I'm just like, oh, fuck. This dude probably has dementia. Like, I was thinking, like, he looked pretty old. He was he was not very fast on his feet. You know, he was pretty labored in his movements. I was like, fuck, this dude either has dementia or he's trying to scam us out of nowhere or something. But I figured it was dementia because he was a regular customer. And I started talking to him, and we were talking for like so long. And he asked me to describe him, and then I described him accurately, and it was really, really awkward. And then literally like 15 minutes into our phone call, the manager's freaking out. He called like the big main manager and was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck's happening. Gary has dementia. He's saying that Rufus didn't show up with his pizza when clearly he did. You know, like, I don't know what to tell you. Rufus like swears up and down. He went there twice. He made absolutely sure it was the right house number. And here, I made absolutely sure it was the right house number, right? And then this guy's talking to me on the phone. He's like, yeah, building 1, 1108. And my heart sank. I was like, fuck. I was at building 11108, not building 1, 1108. And I went on like a little rant about how ridiculous the numbering system of those apartments were, how it's counterintuitive, dumb, pointless, redundant, infuriating. And yeah, basically everything worked out in the end. Some random guy bought a pizza. Never. So the guy who lives at building 1, 1108 is an old blind man. And the guy who lives at building 11108 is also a blind old man. What are the fucking odds? And on top of that, he just paid for the pizza. Like, I was like, oh, just a one pizza. He's like, yeah. And then he didn't pay. And then I come back and he fucking paid. He didn't even say anything. What? What, like, Twilight Zone universe am I living in when I'm delivering these pizzas? I was, like, freaking out because, like, I was really mad at myself because I fucked up. Like, I had somehow misread the number. And then misremembered it because I accidentally crumpled the receipt and put it in my pocket, and I was like stressed out, so I couldn't find the receipt. But I was like, I remember it was 1108 because I was like making sure I went to 1108. And I must have accidentally went to 1107 or something. And so I'm like, I have to make sure I go to 1108 this time. And I went to 1108, but it was 11108. Yeah. So I was mad at myself for that. But at the same time, I was like, bro, why can't these people be normal? Just say you didn't order the fucking pizza, dude. Why are you giving me the money, man? You're weird. Oh my God. There have been so many instances like this. Pizza delivery is one hell of a drug, man. Let me tell you.